This is a brief video about writing and memory, about clutter and tidying. A word of explanation: I live in Sweden, and that explains the references in the video to Scandinavia and the North. To learn whether a real Swede thinks my decluttering counts as Swedish death cleaning, stick around till at least the 4.5 minute mark. Some people tell me that my clutter on the shelves behind me makes my room look interesting for the purpose of video conferencing. Others think it's the sign of an untidy mind. If his mind is in that state, no wonder he can't write anything clear, clean, or solid. Oh, you might argue, and this is my defence, that I am like Sherlock Holmes. The thickness of the dust on my papers is an integral part of my filing system, and it lets me date things. Regardless of the metaphor or the validity of the literary reference, the sad truth is that even I can get fed up with the clutter from time to time, and then I am spurred to sort it out, to dust it off, to box some of it up. And then what to do with the boxes? Why, store them somewhere, of course. I can't get rid of them. It's not just my stuff, there are boxes of things that belong to my wife as well, but to be honest, it's mostly mine. So for years we kept things in the attic, and then in a commercial storage unit. But now we are pensioners and we need to cut costs. So we found a local lockup closer to home. There are downsides. It is smaller. There are other residents, spiders, and whatever the spiders are feeding on. More concerning, perhaps, are the pipes in the ceiling and the worrying sound of rushing water. But it is a lot cheaper. We don't have a car anymore, so I find myself pulling a garden trolley through town, thinking of myself as a character in a Scandinavian noir detective story, smuggling dead bodies perhaps, or maybe it's a modern fable. Anyway, here I am, traipsing across your screen. Box by box, we are moving our past from one space to another. In the new storage room, I start sorting. I said it was smaller, didn't I? Despite my reluctance, I'm going to have to throw away some of these things, but what to throw away? What to give away? What to keep? So many books, so very many books. Look at these teaching books. English grammars, history textbooks, religion, science, geography, sociology, relics of a career spent trying to help people to communicate. Then there are the reference books. Look, encyclopedias, dictionaries. Obsolete? Maybe. But I can't quite shake that post-apocalyptic thought that says, keep a few for when the internet dies. The hardest to let go are the novels and short story collections. Some I haven't opened in a decade. More. Still, it feels like a betrayal to part with them. But I tell myself, if they've lived in boxes for 10 years, maybe they're ready to move on. Among the papers I find timetables and registers from old school classes, essays by students who must now be in their 30s or 40s, or older still. Then I find the other papers, the unfinished stories, the diaries, the scripts, the pieces that started out bright but lost their sparkle. These are the hardest to sort. Archaeological layers of my own life. I leaf through a diary and I am back in that cafe in Helsinki, smelling the bitter coffee and feeling the winter on my coat. There's a Swedish concept, Decluttering, death cleaning. The idea is to clear your things so your heirs don't have to. There's even a book about it and a reality show now, in case you want televised catharsis. I ask my wife, are we death cleaning? She says, no, we are downsizing. I've got about 8 boxes still to move from the commercial store. One of my neighbours has volunteered to help with his car, so it might soon be all done. Then we just have to hope the pipes don't break. Here I am now trying to bring this video to a sensible conclusion. Perhaps the best thing would be to show me at my kitchen table a box full of my old diaries and notebooks as I open them and make notes from what I read in them. The implication, and it's not a lie, is that I'm going back now, looking again at the failed stories from my life and finally revising them, rewriting them, making something new out of them. And that this video is a practical example of how that process can work. Yeah, let's go with that. If you have stuck with me to the end, thank you. Maybe give me a thumbs up. I'll say goodbye now until the next video, which I hope will be less fraught. Cheerio. You can give up. You can think about burning the manuscript or adding it to the pile of earlier failures on the shelves behind you. You can take to drink. You can re-watch my previous video about breaking through writer's block and shout rude comments at the screen. Yeah, I almost forgot I was supposed to be interrupting my cleaning efforts to add to the video. Memories that are all piled up inside me. I imagine them piled like all the boxes and papers and books and, you know, things that might come in handy. He's actually got a computer in it. Would you believe it? That must be my second laptop. I'm on number 4 at the moment.